Hey everyone, Tony D and Little Joan here, and it's time for a Piney podcast. Not a tremendous amount to report today, but case-wise, we're at 495, something like that. As we all know, government workers and the virus take the weekends off. The big news, unfortunately, is Asbury Park has flipped the script and they are not going to be opening their restaurants because Tyrant Phil Murphy got a court order. Oh, now he uses the court system. He only uses it against people, but he uses it, so I guess that's something. There's also a theater in Northfield. I believe it's called Tilton Square Theater, and they show movies. They opened in defiance of the governor, and after being bombarded with citations day after day, they eventually forced them to close as well. So thanks a lot for that, Phil Murphy. I guess at some point in some time when your majesty decides to open theaters and comes up with a wonderful plan at 25% capacity, 35% capacity, 50% capacity, and maybe someday we can all watch a movie without you being involved, Phil. I know you don't care about a single theater or restaurant going out of business because you worked at Goldman Sachs and you have millions of dollars and 3 mansions all over the world. So who cares, right? As long as your political career is sound, as long as the Democratic Party likes you, you'll just move to another state. Maybe you'll be senator and make people's lives miserable in a bigger state with more people in it. Anyhow, beyond that, nothing much going on in South Jersey. A woman was hit by a deer during a BLM march, which is kind of interesting. Watch out for them deer, South Jersey. They come out of nowhere, and they're fast. Man, they just... And speaking of BLM marches, look, there's going to be a lot this weekend. I know people, you want to be noble and you want to be good. But the thing is, I think, in my opinion, the marches are now kind of counterproductive because BLM is going to be exposed if they haven't already. I mean, I certainly found out they're just really an arm of the Democratic Party. And you know, they've collected $1.7 billion from corporate America. That money is probably going right to the Democratic Party. Now, you might say, good. Oh, that's great news. It's not great news because that hurts the cause. There's a lot of people, I think, don't understand where their money's going. They think, oh, BLM, this is going to go to help, people in bad situations with the cops or, whatever. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is just turning into yet another big organization that makes pronouncements. This is not the way to help people. I mean, if they created a trust fund for people attacked by the police, right? And so they could afford better lawyers. That would be amazing, right? Because now you would have, and look, I realize George Floyd is dead and a lawyer can't help him, but, his family is going to sue. They need a lawyer. They already got tons of money, I'm sure now. I mean, not that they were rich, but that people donated. But there are other families that don't get this kind of attention. And that money could be used to help them, not this weird sort of pseudo-socialist agenda that seems to permeate the BLM movement. I also think people associate them with the riots, which are still going on in Philadelphia and a low simmer and other places, and that's not good optics. It's bad. So, I just got done a rant yesterday about how they, desecrated a statue in Philly of a famous abolitionist, a guy who spent his entire life fighting slavery at a time when you were in big trouble if you fought slavery. He helped black people in his own state get the vote in Pennsylvania. That was not a popular position in the 1830s. He took a big risk doing that, and he was canceled by his competitors in his business because of that. So, think there's plenty of other charities out there, and and to some extent, this marching and virtue signaling, it's just becoming a trend, and trends end, and when they end, man, they die. They die. Remember when it was so trendy to put a French flag up because of the tragedy that happened in France? Whatever happened to that? Remember the Yellow Vest riots? They're still going on. Nobody cares about that anymore. People jump from trend to trend to trend. I'm just saying, if you really want to help people, maybe sit down and think about it before you just join up with a bunch of sheep marching with signs that really, in my view, doesn't do much.